So I guess, let's see. Do you guys know how long we've been going? I haven't been keeping track.
I think about 20 minutes or something,
Okay.
probably.
So the last thing I wanted to talk about was something that's extremely controversial and probably the most divisive issue in the whole community. And I think we'll revisit this in the future. I don't think we can have one little discussion on this and call it quits. But that's the use of we'll stick with just inventory editors right now. We won't talk about map editors. And for those that aren't familiar, it's a program where you just open up your save file and you can give yourself whatever materials you want to. And not just like one at a time, you can give yourself up to 255 of anything and stack them up like my signs are here. And I can tell you briefly my experience with this is I played the game completely legitimately until I think it was February when I started making or no, January when I started making the computer that I was working on, and I had 5,000 redstone in store that I ran out, and I had to get 5,000 more, and I wasn't going to mine all through all of it because I had all these plans in my head and I didn't want to wait to make it. So I started editing there, and then I noticed, hey, this is really convenient for my videos, because I used to have to do about, like an hour or so preparation to get all the stuff for the videos. So since then, anything that I do that's related to the videos, I don't mind hacking in. And then on the server, of course, I do it. But I don't know, what do you guys think about that?
Well, basically, I'm not a hardliner about the topic. In my test world, I use INVEdit or other editors on a regular basis. For my showcase world, I try to do it in a legit way. But as you mentioned before, people are expecting some videos from me, and especially when it comes down to glowstone, I'm kind of considering to break the rules for the glowstone a bit, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I personally don't like my creativity being blocked off. I don't want if I have an idea in my head. Any video I've ever made, I really have no plans for. Any creation, any structure that I build, I don't have plans for. It's just spur of the moment. I get the idea. I want to do it. I don't want to have to worry about farming tons and tons and tons and tons of materials because I've done mining. I've played quite a bit in single player, not nearly as much as you guys, because again, I'm like on my third week of this game. But you know, when you, when you first start out in single player and you mine, and once you find diamond, you've pretty much reached the high point of mining. Everything other than that all sucks. It's all boring. It's grindy. It's very monotonous. It reminds me a lot of playing like an MMORPG where
Right.
I've got to just sit there and grind and grind and grind. Very monotonous. And when I'm being creative, especially you with your redstone, a lot of trial and error, a lot of doing stuff, and you don't want your ideas to go away from you. If you have something in your head, you don't want to lose it.
Exactly. And so people give a lot of arguments for and against this, and one of them was like you said for creativity, for building. Other people will argue though that anything that you make with edited materials instantly has no value because you didn't work for the materials. So, what do you have to say to that?
well, I don't think it's like that. I don't know. Well, it's still a game, and I think this game is a game about creativity, and it's totally open. And there are so many ways you could play it. If you think about Survivor Island, if you know that,
Yeah, yeah.
like Matt, or I don't know, you can play on a build server. You can do the survival thing. So it depends what you want to do, and I think it's just basically it's useless to discuss if it's good or not. Just do whatever you feel like. And for example, if you look at your computer, I mean, how would you realize something like that without using
Yeah.
hacks? It's just
I don't know
makes no
anyone
sense.
that's made a cool redstone thing without cheating some. I could be wrong. There could be somebody out there,
I
but
mean, come on. I think when people are saying that it has no value, that's a little bit extreme.
yeah,
That's just people that
right. But for
they're just
me, my
being prideful. They're
philosophy,
being stupid.
I used to be a huge stickler about it. So my policy was, if it makes my jaw drop, or if it's yeah, I guess yeah, if it was something that was just so amazing or something that would be impossible to do otherwise, then it was okay. And I don't know if that necessarily applies to me. I could be being hypocritical here, but I think it's a generally good rule of thumb. Just if you're trying to, legitimize your work, if you're worried about people calling you like a hack because you're not actually earning your stuff, then I would say if you're able to impress someone enough, it doesn't matter. But I can tell you on the forums, people have said, I don't care how amazing your thing is. If you hacked for it, it's worth nothing. And I don't really respect those people.
Alright. Well, let me address that one in my own special way. Fuck them.
Yeah.
The reason why I say this, and I appreciate every subscriber I get, and I love interacting with this community because it kind of brings me back to my roots of like Quake and Unreal Tournament, where the community is just huge and they're just so creative and they have mods and all this different shit, and it makes the game environment much more enjoyable. However, this is when I have to kind of intervene. I would love to see these guys have an actual, and I'm not saying, oh, you have no life. I'm not using that argument because that argument is for idiots. I would love to see these guys come up with these huge ideas and want to make videos and do tutorials about something that's going to require so much, and then fit in the time to constantly sit there and grind out all these materials to do this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And actually make a presentation. Like, for example, my Sapphire Castle. I love my Sapphire Castle, and there's a bunch of subscribers of mine that do. They agree. It's on a survival multiplayer server where a lapis lazuli drops. At that point, when I did make it, only dropped 1 stone per block, and it was only like 4% more, 4% higher spawn rate than diamond. How the fuck was I going to build that castle with it? I didn't want to use another block, and I was sure as hell was not going to be able to even find the time to get all that. So whatever. It's a completely different game style. You know, some people want to grind it. Grind it. Go ahead. I'm not going to discredit you or say that you're taking the hard way, and to each their own.
Great, I just died. But let me quickly beam over to you guys. Wait a second. I'll be there. Keep on discussing.
Oh no. I think
like, your computer is a great example of this, dude.
Yeah, at the same time though, it's like I still get some criticism, but hopefully most people are like wowed enough by the concept that they're not going to be overly critical. But look at like the guy who made the 1-to-1 replica of the Enterprise. There's no way.
That thing is beautiful.
Yeah, or the Minecraft Earth in creative. I mean, that was creative, so nobody ever complains about hacking materials there, but it's like, you can't do something that large. It's not physically possible. I mean, you look at the man-hours required, and it can't be done.
Yeah, even with all the items given to you, the man-hours just to do it is insane. Just to build it with everything.
Yeah, but I think
so,
the take-home message...
I mean, logically.
The take-home message for the viewer should be, don't feel guilty, don't feel bad. But I would definitely encourage people for this and all the other topics we talked about to write in your opinions, and we can talk about the interesting ones in the future. But we've gone for, I think, like 25 minutes now, so we should probably close it up and save the rest for another episode.
Alright, yeah, I finally made it back, and yeah, I'm absolutely agree. Don't be a hardliner about all this inventory stuff. Just play the game, enjoy it. Please give me our feedback. It's really important for us. And Steven is digging me a grave. And yeah, bury me alive, dude. And by the way, keep on applying for the server. I'm here on a
short
visit. Yeah, I just want to say it's awesome. I've seen some stuff on here. It's a total jaw dropper, and yeah, take part. It's really worth it. It's just awesome, guys. Believe me, I'm an expert.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Creativity, I definitely defer to your expertise. That is definitely the case. Did you hear Zaw Banjito, who was like cursing you for making things so good looking and creative and functional? That was funny.
Yeah,
I go for
love
pretty
man.
structures. I'm not as good as Doc or Steven.
Anyways,
Ah,
so
come on.
we were closing. We don't want to get into another one right now, but we'll do this sometime. So thank you guys for watching. Give us your feedback if you like this kind of try commentary show type of thing. Leave your comments and your suggestions, and we will, give you shoutouts by name in the future episodes if you write in with a particularly good question or suggestion. So that is all for me. Do you guys have any final words?
Not really.
Bye-bye.
Steven's pretty.
All right. With me being pretty,
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah, I think we'll call it quits with that. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.